Hello everyone. So as you can see from the title of this video, it says, the Bible says, don't get married. Now, the reason why I'm creating this video is because of one of the comments that I received in one of my previous videos that says, what married women know that don't tell single women, but single women need to know. So there was a nice lady that, respectfully left her comment. Her comment pretty much was talking about the reasons why most women are not married. And she gave a couple of reasons, but the ones I want to point out in her comments are, the first reason she gave is, she said that the reason why most women are unmarried is because they have chosen not to get married, which means most women can get married, but they're choosing not to. That was her first reason why there are a lot of women that are single. Her second reason why a lot of women are single is because she said back in the day, women got married out of survival. They needed to survive. So that was, the only reason why they got married. And another reason she gave is, she said now that the Equal Credit Opportunity Act is in place, women no longer need to get married because women can now survive on their own. They can, get jobs on their own, get higher education, get credit cards and houses and whatever have you on their own. So that's another reason why majority of women are not married today. So the last and final reason she gave, which is what I'm going to talk about in this video, is the Bible. She talked about Apostle Paul in the Bible says that it is better for women not to get married. Okay? So that they can serve the Lord, and marriage is a distraction. So that's what I'm going to be discussing in this video. So stay with me and I'm going to bless you. Okay. And then she ended her comment by saying that pastors keep pushing marriage on women instead of pastors to, push marriage. Why can't pastors present singleness as a gift? That is exactly how she ended her comment. I'm not even going to talk about that. The only thing I want to point out is what she said about Apostle Paul in the Bible. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this on, okay, because I want to be able to show you guys. Sorry if it's too loud. I'm going to be reading from the New King James Version of the Bible, what has been documented, and it's okay. If you don't know, the Bible, if you don't read the Bible, if you don't care about the Bible, that is fine. That is not needed for you to listen in to what I'm about to say, okay? And if you want to follow along, please feel free to Google 1 Corinthians chapter 7, okay? I'm going to be reading here from verse 2 to 5, okay? And then I'm going to skip over tonight. It's going to be really quick, so please follow along with me. And this is Paul saying in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, we're going to start from verse 2. Nevertheless, because of sexual immorality, let each man have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Okay, so one wife, one husband, right? Let the husband render to his wife the affection that is due to her, and likewise also let the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her body. Did you hear that? But the husband does. And likewise, okay, that means whatever applies to the woman applies to the man as well. And it says, and likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Now, let's go over to, let's go over to where it talks about when Paul is talking about he would rather women, not get married. And Paul was referring to those men and women who desire to be in ministry full time. This is what he's referring to. For I wish that all men were even as I myself, but each one has his own gift from God. And when Paul says as myself, he means, because Paul in the Bible, the Apostle Paul, did not get married, okay? So when he's saying all men, he means all men and all women. For I wish that all men were even as myself, which is unmarried, but each one has his own gift from God, one in this manner and another in that. But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am. Because the unmarried and the widows back then were in full-time ministry. But now this is verse 9. But if they cannot exercise self-control, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Okay, I'm going to end it there, right? I'm going to end the Bible reading right there. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm not even in full-time ministry either. But, I am a woman who was raised with biblical principles. Now, that doesn't mean I know everything. It just means that what I know, I do know very well. That's it. That's all that means. And I'm going to impart a little bit of wisdom to you as what I know, what I have been taught, and what I believe that God has revealed to me. The Bible has very strict guidelines, and I call it blueprints for men and women to follow if they want to enter into the marriage covenant. Marriage is a covenant. That's why it cannot be played with. That means that don't get married if you know that you are not willing to follow the blueprint. The blueprint, according to the Bible, for men and women cooperating with each other and becoming one flesh. Husband and wife cannot become one flesh unless they are cooperating. So that means that there's going to have to be a lot of discussion going on in a marriage, and both of you have to be, have the same goals, the same values, or similar, and both of you can talk it out, negotiate it, and do what is best for the family. Not do what is best for your individual self, but because you are married and you're together, you have to do what is best for the overarching goal of the family. That's how marriages are sustained in a healthy, happy, and successful place. You got that part, right? So the Bible lays down the blueprint for how marriage should be operating for the best outcomes. You have to always look at whatever choices you're trying to make. Look at the outcome. What kind of outcome do I want to achieve? And do I want to give myself the best possible outcome? If the answer is yes, there are blueprints to follow for this, that, and the other, whatever it is that you choose. Remember that life is about choices now, and with choices come outcomes. So that means that God has given every human being freedom. I don't know why especially single women, come into my comment section trying to demean marriage. You cannot demean marriage. I don't care how many excuses you give for why women are not married, or how many excuses you give for why, all the married people are so bitter, are so angry, are so miserable. It does not matter. It's not my fault or anybody else's fault that you have not seen healthy, successful marriages. Whose fault is that? Does not mean that they do not exist. They do exist, okay? And if you don't want to believe women that come on and say, yes, you know what, I am actually in a very happy place in my marriage. If you don't want to believe them, that's on you. It's not on the person that's married, okay? So I came here to debunk what this lady said in the comment section, that the Bible says don't get married, that it is better for women not to get married. And that you can see right now, I read it, that is not entirely true. The Bible is completely against premarital affairs, though, just so you do know. Premarital sex, the Bible is against that. The Bible is against fornication. The Bible is against sexual immorality. It's in there. Go and read it and research it for yourself. You don't need to take my word for it. It is there. Those who believe in the Bible. If you don't believe in the Bible, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm not here to force anybody. I'm just here to give that wisdom from the good books, okay? So ladies, drop down in the comment section, and men, drop down in the comment section and let's have this conversation. Maybe in future videos, I will be able to go through all the other points that this lady made regarding why there are a lot of women that are not married. I don't know why people take joy. A lot of people take joy in trying to paint marriage in a bad picture. Marriage in and of itself is not bad. If people come together, if men and women come together and don't succeed in marriage, does not mean that marriage is bad. Does not mean that marriage is a scam. Does not mean that marriage is not good for the greater part of humanity. It just means that the two people that came together and were not able to be successful in their marriage were just that. They were not able to be successful in their marriage. But if you want to sit out here in public and paint marriage into a bad in a bad picture, you are fighting a losing battle already as is. If you do not want to get married, please stay single. Own your singlehood with your full chest and just stay. But at the same time, do not think that you can come out here in these streets, in these social media streets, and tell women, married women who are out here promoting healthy marriages, that they are lying and that they're secretly unhappy and secretly bitter, but want to come out here and pretend like marriage is a good thing. Stop it, ladies. Mostly women do that. I don't see a lot of men doing that, but it's a lot of women, especially single women, that do that. So drop down in the comment section and be sure to, put your comments in. Let's have a conversation. Let's carry this conversation forward. Also, be sure to like this video, share it with other people, and please subscribe to my channel because I will be dropping a whole lot of gems. The year is still brand new, okay? Because in my opinion, the first 3 months of the year is still brand new. After that, the year starts to get old, okay? So we're still in a brand new 2025, and I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems for us to discuss about when it comes to creating healthy, successful marriages and also creating healthy, successful, committed relationships. All right, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.